The NamPay Endo system offers creditors an equal opportunity to collect funds from customer accounts. The debit orders may be deducted in a different order every month. The Chief Executive Officer of the Bankers Association said that consumers should ensure that there are sufficient funds in their accounts to avoid incurring fees.
Regardless of the times when the debit orders are actually presented on that given date, you should ensure that there is sufficient funds in your account, and I will explain now why that is extremely important, to ensure that you pay all your creditors. You would have arranged for them. This has got nothing to do with banks. It's your own life that you are basically leading. And you would have then said that this is the sort of debt that I want to enter into for your own consumption, for that matter. And therefore, in terms of those underlying agreements, you bear the responsibility, not the bank, to pay those creditors on the dates and times that you would have then agreed with them. I think that must be really underscored and really overemphasized. The obligation to pay debit orders does not sit with the bank. The bank simply facilitates payment in terms of this new system that I've just now introduced or explained to you. So it is extremely important for everybody to understand. Once the date comes that you need to pay your debit orders, the safest route is to have money sufficient in your account to make sure that you pay your debit orders as and when they are basically presented. So if the debit order amount that should have been paid is 1,000, you would then take 1.5% of 1,000. That would then be your penalty fee, if I may put it that way. The minimum penalty fee is 39 Namibian dollars in terms of the regulations, and this is not decided by the banks, by the way. These are things that are regulated by the Bank of Namibia. Also to ensure that consumers are better protected. So the misunderstanding that the banks raised fees themselves is devoid of any truth.
Kashairua described the new system as robust and beneficial to the banking community and puts the country's payment system on par with international standards. He assured consumers that the new NamPay electronic funds transfer system remains affordable.
Maximum fee that would then be charged, depending on, of course, the value of the debit order, is now set at 200 Namibian dollars. And that is the maximum as per the Bank of Namibia regulation. So even if the value of the debit order, for example, is, let's say, 30,000 that you did not pay, the 1.5% is basically worked out on smaller amounts, but the maximum capped rate at which you can be charged is 200 Namibian dollars. And I think that, again, that must be emphasized. So you pay anything between 39 Namibian dollars up to 200 Namibian dollars per each debit order that wasn't paid, for example. So it doesn't mean that for all debit orders, if you have 10 debit orders and all of them were not paid, you only pay 200 Namibian dollars and $39. We are saying pay each unpaid, basically on your account. Okay? So that's extremely important for the viewers to really understand. The fees are cheap. They've actually been brought down. They are kept, for that matter. So it doesn't allow any financial institution to simply, at each instance when they represent the same debit order, let's say 10 times on 10 consecutive days, now you incur a fee of, for example, just as an example, $200 times 10. Now we say it is kept to $200. That is seen as the very same incident per debit order that wasn't actually paid, and that is it. So the consumer must then rest assured that banks are working very, very hard to actually bring down, with the bank, together with the Bank of Namibia, to making banking basically affordable to each and every person, and also checking on what the consumers have been complaining about, which is good news as far as I'm concerned.
The Bankers Association was established in 1997 to represent the commercial banking sector in the country. Its members are the First National Bank, Nedbank, Bank Windhoek, Trustco Bank, Bank Big, Letshego, and Standard Bank. Most of the members have already rolled out the new system.